Let me ask you a quick question. Do you believe in a concept known as the consultant's ladder? I do. I believe the consultant's ladder is a great concept for any consultant to understand, particularly if you're trying to build your own consulting practice. Hello, I'm Laura Burford, founder of Laura's Consulting Guide, here with a consulting insight. The consultant's ladder is what I call an actionable model. And I call it that because anybody that's an independent professional, a consultant, can assess themselves against the ladder. Where are they? Where are they when it comes to their knowledge and skills in consulting? They can then take a step back and determine what do they want to do next, both on a professional as well as a personal level. My consultant ladder only has 3 rungs. That's it. I keep mine simple. And the consultant's ladder does not include subcontractors. In a few seconds, I'm going to disappear from the screen so that you can listen to a video that explains the model in more detail. If you have any questions or comments as you listen to it, drop them below. And I will be back afterwards with some additional insights. If you work for a consulting firm, you might have heard somebody refer to the consultant's ladder. Simply put, a consultant's ladder is how you progress in your career while working within the firm. But does the consultant's ladder apply to independent professionals, consultants? Would you be surprised if I said yes, it does? For simplicity purposes, I believe there are 3 levels of independent professionals, consultants: trusted advisor, senior consultant, and consultant. Let's dive down into each of the levels. But before I begin discussing each level, I'd like to take a sidestep and clarify 3 terms that are often confused: consultant, contractor, and subcontractor. 3 terms that are often intermixed, resulting in confusion. Consultants and contractors, although they are slightly different, are extremely similar, and for purposes of this discussion will be treated as if they are the same. Also, for purposes of this discussion, I'm talking about independent professionals that are consultants. Going forward, they will be referred to as consultants. Consultants and contractors are self-employed independent business professionals with specialized expertise and skills. They are responsible for obtaining and completing work according to a contract, maintaining relationships with their clientele, and investing in building their businesses. Subcontractors are self-employed as well. They are self-employed people with an area of specialization. Subcontractors work for and take their direction from consultants, contractors, business managers, and third-party placement organizations based on a statement of work. The key word here, or rather prefix, is sub. Sub means under, beneath, below. One of the easiest ways to identify the difference between consultants and contractors and subcontractors is consultants and contractors are responsible for finding their work and writing the proposal. Somebody else not only finds the work for the subcontractor, they provide the subcontractor a statement of work that outlines the work to be completed. A subcontractor is normally paid on a time and expense basis. Consultants and contractors may use a time and expense model for pricing, but they will also use fixed price and value-based models. When discussing the consultant's ladder, I will be discussing consultants, not subcontractors. And now for the consultant's ladder. In general, a trusted advisor tends to work on strategic work, while a consultant, at the bottom of the ladder, tends to work on more tactical work. Does this mean that a trusted advisor doesn't work on tactical work? No, it doesn't. But it's rare to see a consultant at the top of the ladder, that trusted advisor, performing tactical work. In general, there are more consultants at the bottom of the ladder than at the top of the ladder. Consultants at the top of the ladder not only have the experience and expertise necessary to be a consultant, they have honed their consulting knowledge and skills and are known as a standout expert in the field. In general, the consultant at the bottom of the ladder earns less than the consultants at the top of the ladder. How come? Think of it this way: strategic person versus a tactical person, an average consultant versus a standout expert. Every consultant has some level of expertise and experience, as well as some level of consulting knowledge and skills. A consultant continually hones their expertise, and as they move up the ladder, they hone their consulting knowledge and skills. Let me start by describing the consultant at the bottom one-third of the ladder. This person focuses on becoming known as a specialist in something. They have experience and expertise, but there's a very good chance they're still trying to clarify their focus, their niche, as well as the characteristics and behaviors of their ideal client. They're not really sure what their ideal client looks like or should look like. This consultant has a list of services that they do well, but they're still working on defining what is that one thing that they want to become known for. At this point, the consultant could be saying yes to several different things that they can do. People might look at them as a generalist, and their brand message is not very specific. They build awareness by networking with people they know, and they hang out at places where they believe they'll find their ideal client. They acquire their clients via word of mouth, alliances with people they know, referrals, social media such as LinkedIn, and internet searches. They might use automated tools to collect emails and help them track leads, but they might just use a spreadsheet or jot down notes in a notebook. They write their own proposal and sign their own contracts based on discussions with the client. Normally, their work is project-oriented, and although the consultant might charge an hourly rate, some consultants might start moving to a daily rate or quote a fixed price for their services. A senior consultant has a focus and can clearly articulate that focus, that one thing for which they want to be known, that one thing that makes them the go-to person who can solve a particular problem. A senior consultant is clear as to the characteristics and behaviors of their ideal client, and they know where to find their ideal client. Their brand message is not only solid, they know how to expand it with the help of creativity. A senior consultant has a unique point of view about their focus, something that makes them stand out. Their point of view is part of their intellectual property. When asked about what they have to offer, their how, a senior consultant can explain their service offering. And they're not afraid to say no when a request for help is not tied to their focus. While the consultant's work normally is tactical in nature, the senior consultant's work can be a mix of tactical as well as strategic work. A consultant builds awareness and relationships mainly by networking. A senior consultant takes awareness and relationships to the next level. This includes continuing to network with the creation of targeted networking plans, where to network, as well as companies and organizations for which to connect. A senior consultant builds their intellectual property. This includes evaluating their creative strengths to develop content that fits the needs of their ideal client as well as fits the consultant's personality. Do you write blog articles for a third party? Do you become a guest podcaster? Or maybe you write your own blog and host your own podcast. Or maybe you post to YouTube. A senior consultant works to not only become known as the go-to person, but they start to work to become recognized as the expert. Just like a consultant, a senior consultant engages with a client to understand the client's needs, writes the proposal, and signs the contract. However, when it comes to quoting a price, senior consultants tend to start moving away from hourly rates and start focusing on daily rates, fixed price proposals, and value-based pricing, particularly if they offer a retainer or package-oriented service. Finally, the top of the ladder, the trusted advisor, or what some people refer to as a strategic advisor. This person is not only a go-to person, they are recognized as the expert. They have intellectual property and people know them for their intellect. There is no question as to their focus, who is their ideal client or brand message. People understand their service offering and they understand the trusted advisor's point of view. It is quite common for a trusted advisor to have multiple streams of income tied to their focus. Books, educational programs, webinars, mentoring, coaching services, paid speaking engagements. I can go on, but I think you get the idea. When it comes to their awareness and relationship campaign, a trusted advisor takes their campaign up a notch. They expand their marketing effort, including using more sophisticated tools and techniques in their business. And they build affiliations with other trusted advisors. Like the consultant and senior consultant, trusted advisors understand the client's needs, write the proposals, and sign the contract. However, when it comes to quoting a price, rarely, if ever, will you see an hourly rate. Trusted advisors tend to quote prices based on the fixed price or value-based models. So what is the consultant's ladder? The consultant's ladder is a way for you to think about your career as a consultant. For simplicity purposes, I identified 3 levels for the independent professional, the independent consultant: trusted advisor, senior consultant, consultant. Could there be more levels? Sure. You could have a level between consultant and senior consultant, or between senior consultant and trusted advisor. What is not included in the consultant's ladder is the subcontractor. The levels that were presented were discussed conceptually and in general terms. Guidelines were provided for each level, and there can and will be exceptions based on the consultant. Regardless of where you are on the consultant's ladder, a consultant needs to understand the knowledge and skills highlighted in the consultancy model. How much does a consultant need to know in each area? Well, it varies. It varies based on where you are on the ladder and where you want to be on the ladder. It is very possible that you don't want to be that trusted advisor. You don't want to be at the top of the ladder. And based on your personal preferences and lifestyle, the senior consultant level is ideal for you. What is important is, regardless of what level you are, you have the necessary knowledge and skills to be successful. Welcome back. I hope you found the video about the consultant's ladder interesting as well as helpful. The consultant's ladder is a powerful concept that can help any consultant building a consulting practice. If you haven't taken the time to assess yourself, consider doing so now. Take a few seconds. What rung of the ladder are you on? In this video, I mentioned something known as the consultancy model. The consultancy model and the consultant's ladder work hand in hand. They're intertwined. For more information about the consultancy model, there is a video on this channel, but to make it easy for you to find, I've included a link in the resource section below. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up and consider sharing it with anybody who is struggling with their own consulting practice. And finally, consider subscribing to the channel. And now it's time for me to sign off. So goodbye until the next Consulting Insight.